here.
People can't see him.
No, but on the slide.
You're not his wife yet. No.
50%.
Hey, Junior.
More than you.
Pipe it down a little. Look, I just want to make a little speechy.
Can you speak louder?
Really?
DJ, can you put it up?
Jesus.
DJ Gospel.
Look, I wrote a little speech yesterday, and I haven't rehearsed it whatsoever, so it could go interestingly. But I just wanted to firstly thank everyone for coming. The reason we decided to have so many parties was the logistics of the fact that half of our guest list was in Brazil. So that meant that if we had to have it in one location, wherever it would be, heaps of people wouldn't be able to make it. That and the fact that we didn't want to have a big wedding where we wouldn't be able to get around everyone. So this way we can spend more precious time with you all. And we just love parties. So the party in Brazil was amazing, and there were definitely moments that I wish you were all there. Brazil's the best place in the world. And
apart from Bendigo.
Australia.
they love their food and drinks, and they're the most social people I've ever met. Brazil has my heart, and I have their best export. Because Patchie's family couldn't make this one, I'd like to talk about them a little because they're amazing and they're incredibly loving, funny and clever. Patchie's dad is an engineer and is always designing and building impressive things. He built an electric drum kit from scratch, and in the 80s, when Patchie's mum, Jusara, was pregnant, he built a plane, got in it, and flew it. As impressive as that was, Jusara was not impressed. Jusara is Patchie's mother in every way. I feel like I'm looking into our future whenever we're together. She's very affectionate, with a heart of gold, very cheeky and fun, just like Patchie. Patchie has a brother called Aitor. We get along like a house on fire, although it hasn't been smooth sailing all the way. For those unaware, Jiu-Jitsu wrestling is one of the biggest sports in Brazil, and Aitor just happens to be a black belt in it. On our first trip to Brazil, Aitor and I got off to a great start. He's a singer in a band, he plays every instrument, and he's just a general good time, so it's pretty easy. But after a week or so, Patchie was sick of trying to entertain me, dragging me around to her catch-ups with her girlfriends, translating everything for me. So when Aitor said he was off to Jiu-Jitsu, Patchie said, "Baby, you should go." To which I said, Aitor said, "You should go." Thanks, Patch. So off we went on the bus that I'd been thrown under. He gives me his old uniform and a white belt, which was the entry level. When we arrived, there was around 30 to 40 Brazilian brick shithouses ready to rumble. You could smell the testosterone like a fart that no one was owning up to. It was sickening. How Jiu-Jitsu works, everyone stands in a circle, and every belt that is above you walks past until they find who they want to murder. And the rule is that you're not allowed to refuse a duel. I'm a bit concerned at this point. 95% of the blokes in that room wanted my blood. Luckily for me, Aitor stepped in and said, "No one's wrestling the gringo except me." Thank God, I thought. But that was a false sense of security. Aitor and I began wrestling. After what felt like an hour, I looked at the clock and only 45 seconds had passed. This was the most tiring shit I'd ever done in my life. Aitor then said he'd show me a few moves. He said, "If it gets too much, you can tap out." He then proceeded to put me in a choke, in a headlock, like we were Bart and Homer Simpson. The only difference was he wasn't saying, "Why you little?" He was saying, "If you hurt my sister, I will kill you." A noise came from my mouth that I'd never heard before. I think it was the sound of my throat tearing in half. I eventually tapped out. And once I remembered who I was and where I was, he asked me why I didn't tap out earlier. I just said I didn't feel the need. That was 4 years ago. My throat has only just recovered recently. It was probably still better than the time Brent and I were wrestling as kids and he elbowed me in the balls. They still haven't recovered. Funnily enough though, that was one of my favourite memories from Brazil, and every time spent with Aitor since then has been a great time, and it's great to call him my brother, even if I am just waiting for him to choke me out again. Now on to Patch. When I came to write this part, I had a hard time because no words can describe how amazing you are. I've never met anyone with an energy like you. You care and show interest in everything I do, and if someone has given me grief, you'll give him back twice as much. When I think of you, I think of your smile and your laugh and the way you love me like I'm the most amazing thing in the world, and that feels really nice because I think you are the most amazing thing in the world. Thanks for moving to the other side of the world with me. Sometimes I have to remind myself of the sacrifices you've made and make daily. I'm so proud of you and I'm so lucky, and we're going to have a great life together. Thanks to Mum and Dad for providing the beautiful garden and raising me well enough to be able to land a woman like Patchy. Patchy and I can't wait for you to meet her parents next month because we know you'll get along great, and we look forward to you coming to Brazil with us soon. And lastly, thanks to Trav, or as Patch calls, Travs, for the amazing celebratory /MC. Couldn't have done it without you. Brilliant. And I think that's it from me.
All I want to say is thank you all for coming, and how happy we are, Lynn and myself, and our other siblings, to have Patchy in our world. And yeah, it's good. Uncle Bill was going to make this speech, but he decided against it because he thought he'd be pushing him. So, thanks for coming, guys.
Don't trip over.
Well, yeah, I don't have a speech. I tried to start writing something, but I thought Trav summarized everything. And I just like to say that the idea behind this is to have all the two families together, the Harrys and the Kings. And I think this is...
Harrys.
What did I say?
The Harrys.
You got it. So that's really pretty much sums up our relationship. But yeah, it's just really nice to have time to, to speak with all of you and like gather together. And for each one of you that helped today, like Holly with the signs, Brent hanging the photos, like everyone really, that's what I was after for this day. It's not really just this time where we're drinking, but the whole coming together to make this happen. So thank you so much, Lynn and Peter. And I would like to propose a toast to them because this week they also had their 42nd anniversary, and that's pretty awesome. So to them, you know how to drink, so that's okay. And we really look, after their example and how, a real partnership looks like. And thanks for being a role model to us. And thanks everyone. Let's continue to drink and dance. We should put music louder if the neighbors don't complain. So yeah, thanks for everything.